Hey guys, it's Tim, coming at you with a review of Pacific Rim Uprising, the sequel to the original Pacific Rim. Taking place 10 years after the original film, we meet Jake Pentecost, a former Jaeger pilot, and the son of Stacker Pentecost, who's making a living in Santa Monica, stealing and selling Jaeger parts on the black market. However, after a deal goes bad, he runs into Amara Namani, a teen genius who's built her own smaller Jaeger named Scrapper. After a run with the PPDC, Jake and Amara are arrested, and in order to get them out of it, Jake has to rejoin the program, as well as having Amara join as a cadet. But it seems that the Jaeger program may again be threatened due to Shao Industries creating new drone Jaegers that only require one pilot piloting them from a distance. But after the rogue Jaeger Obsidian Fury attacks a presentation for them, it seems that there might be darker forces in play than anyone realized, all tying back to the events 10 years ago. Right off the bat, I want to say that this film is by no means better than the original film, and probably isn't even on par with it. But I did enjoy myself when watching it. It's one of those movies where if you don't think too hard about it and get wrapped up in the characters, or at the very least the main character in this film, you'll have a pretty decent ride from beginning to end. With that said, the film does have many problems, but it usually comes back to one major one: a lack of focus. It has a lot of ideas bouncing around in it, and a lot could be interesting to explore, but due to them having to share screen time with other elements, there's not enough time to actually go into them in any depth. Jake Pentecost is actually a very interesting character, and I honestly enjoy following him more than I enjoyed following Raleigh Beckett in the original film, even if Raleigh's story is technically better. And Jake's could have been. He has a lot of things going for him in terms of the story, but he also has to share focus in the story with Amara, who's a substantially less interesting character, and who the audience is not going to be as invested in because she has no connection to the original film. Meanwhile, we have all these relationships that Jake has that in and of themselves could be interesting to focus on, but we just don't have time for it. What is his beef with Scott Eastwood at the beginning of the film? I don't know, and even later in the film he says he forgets exactly what happened, so we never actually learn what their falling out was. What's going on between him and his love interest? I don't know, she's only in the film for like 5 minutes total screen time. What's his relationship with Stacker? They allude to it, but they never go into it in any depth. His feelings towards Stacker, Stacker's feelings towards him. We just get an event from their past where they had some friction, but it doesn't really tell us that much. And then there's him and his sister, who he seems to have a fairly decent relationship with in this film, but again, we don't get time to focus on it. And that's the film's major problem. Had they cut Amara out and focused more on Jake, the movie would have been a lot better, especially since on Amara's side of the story, we really know nothing about her supporting cast with the cadets. They focus on 3 of them, and we don't learn any of their backstories for the most part. They're really just there so that we can have a younger teenage cast who can potentially age with the franchise. One thing the original film did well in terms of character focus was that, for the most part, we only followed Raleigh. And anytime that the film focused on another character, it was only once Raleigh had interacted with them and basically passed the baton for the script to them for that moment. This let the characters flow a lot more naturally alongside the script, even if they weren't the strongest of characters in the grand scheme of things. This film, it just pulls itself in too many directions, and it just can't reach anything it's aiming for because of that. But I will say, if you're looking for a movie that's just dumb fun, where you can see some giant robots fight and see some fun characters interact on screen with one another, you're gonna have fun with this movie. It's just not the original Pacific Rim. Overall, I give the film a 6.5 out of 10. If you're a fan of the original film, I can understand you being more upset with it, and there's definitely things for fans of the original film to be upset with in this film. But if you go in not expecting it to be the original film, you'll probably have a lot more fun with it. But that'll do it for this review, guys. So until next time, this has been Tim from the Hybrid Network, signing out. Hey guys, thanks for watching, but if you want to take your support to the next level, you can consider subscribing to us and hitting the bell next to it to be immediately informed whenever a new video goes up. Also check out our website for the latest news and editorials, and if you're interested in taking your support even further, you can always consider donating to us on Patreon to help our videos get better.